Hello everyone and welcome to Reports Part 2. In this video, you'll learn how to design a basic report, add properties, fields, and images to that report, and how to save your report in Mint or on your computer. The purpose of the last video was to teach you how to search for specific data without sifting through a bunch of information using the Query and Data tab in the Reports Builder. Today, we will look at the Design and Reports tabs, which can organize the data you've searched for in an easy-to-read layout that can be picked up and understood by anyone. To give you an idea of how you can use these functions, let's look back at our practical example, Joe. Having found the birthday information he was looking for in our last video, he wants a sheet that he can print out and give to his coworker, Julie, who is also interested in the information that we looked at. If he just prints out the data page, it won't have titles, images, or any design elements that can make the document easy to read and understand for Julie. But if Joe creates a printed report with the Design tab, the report will be easy for Julie to understand, so she and Joe can talk about the information in the report. Using the Design and Report function, you can take your report from a jumbled list to a cleanly laid out document. All right, we're now in Mint Web Assistant. We're going to go over to the menu and go to Reports, just like in the last video. Here's the category that we created, and here's the report. So let's open that up. Here you'll see the query that we worked on in Reports Part 1. We looked for the first name, the date of birth, the address, and the cost per hour when that resource was located in Antarctica. So you guys were probably wondering why in a series that's named Reports, we didn't get to the reports part. So last time was all about properties, query, and data, because you need data to make a report. And now we will be moving on to the design portion of the report. So here's the data that we created last time for our report. And now let's go over to Design. Here's the Design tab. The first part of the Design tab that we're going to work on is the details. Now, details equals data in this. So all the data that we gathered during our query is going to show up here in the detail. So to make that happen, we're going to go over to Outline, Report Design, and open the fields. The fields are our properties from the queries. So if we searched for it in our query, it's going to show up here in fields. So here's the first name, date of birth, address, and cost per hour. Now, sometimes we want to edit what's going to show up in our data. So for date of birth pattern, we just want to see month, day, and year instead of the hour and minute that they were born. So let's change it to that. The rest of them should be fine. Now let's execute our report and show you what that looks like. All right, here's our data. This is a very basic kind of report. It's really just a list with some space in between. Everything's laid out there. So now if we go back to Design, we can go to the column portion, which is how we can add headings. So details is where you get your data, and column is where you always put your headings. So even if I take from the same field, like first name, date of birth, as I did for the details, it's not going to list out the data. It's only going to use it as a heading. So you're not going to see any of the resources or their date of birth or their address. It's just acting as a label, basically. So let's see what that looks like. So you go. So now we have some headings, some context for the information. So it's not just listed. It's more than just a data. It's actually a report now. So there's something else that you need, and that's the title. For that, we're just going to drag a label from the elements. The elements is where you'll get most of your customization and how you'll make your report look more attractive. We'll get to that in the next video. For now, let's just title it Birthdays, Antarctica. All right, there's that. So now we have a title, we have some headings, and we have some data. There's one more thing I'm going to show you in the Design function, and that is how to add an image. So we're going to drag an image over from the elements, put it right there in the title, and then what you need is a URL. So I already have an image selected. It's a birthday cake. Click Copy Image Address, And then we're just going to paste that in there. And then you have a picture. The last part you're going to need to know is how to save your report. So you can either press OK or Apply to save it within Mint, or you can use the Save As function and save it as a PDF, a Word document, or whatever you want. This is from Reports Part 2. Thanks for watching.